All right, so I might have to do a little bit of explaining for this because it's a little tech heavy.
Okay.
So you're familiar with motion capture, right?
Yes.
So where people, have some kind of tracking system. The kind that most people are familiar with is where they have a motion capture suit that has all kinds of little balls on it, and then they have special cameras that track those balls.
And they're like a green screen background or foreground or whatever.
Sometimes, yeah. Or they'll have props that also have those balls on it, and then they have the special cameras that track that. And then I'm sure you've seen you're familiar with the Microsoft Kinect.
Yes.
That's a skeletal tracking without any sort of motion capture.
Yeah, so it's like you can play like DDR and all these like games or whatever without any controllers because the camera just sits there and it maps you and stuff. And
right. Okay.
I've heard some weird things about that, the whole Kinect camera, like a long time ago, about like seeing through people's walls and all kinds of weird stuff.
There's you look into like the AdSense and all the weird things that Microsoft was going to do with it.
Yeah. I never got too deep into it, but I know it sounded dystopian.
Right. You know that they can take that motion capture data, smooth it out, and place a digital model on top of somebody.
So they can
like Andy Serkis becomes King Kong or Gollum or any of the other characters that he likes to play.
Right.
So
on screen or in the bedroom, we're not judging.
You can plead the fifth on this one, but do you know what a Camgirl is?
Oh, I mean, no. As the person who films, and she is a camera operator.
Right. So yes, an adult performer who either previously records or streams herself doing adult things. Right.
Solo, I also believe, is a
usually solo. Yeah. And then the thing about that makes it different from like just normal pornography is that it's sort of interactive, I guess. There's
like people could like join your Patreon or something and throw money at you,
right? Or you're streaming and then they give tips or whatever,
right?
And then like you'll talk to them,
or
and
like
they'll
the
talk back to
highest
you,
bidder will like close everybody else off and give you like a little private show, or whatever.
shows and whatnot.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So let's merge these two things. Okay. We have motion capture, right? And along with motion capture is also acting involved.
So like a human model is sitting there doing something, but their avatar is being projected as also doing the same thing, but it's their avatar with totally different details and all that stuff, yeah?
They're James Cameron's avatar.
Word. Blue cat people.
Right.
Getting it on.
So where am I going with this? There's a person who's gaining notoriety because they've hired somebody, or maybe multiple people, I'm not sure, to create this anime avatar, high fidelity thing, and some technology behind it that allows this person to be a camgirl, but this anime character
doesn't even exist,
modeled over her body.
Totally.
Right? Are you with me so far?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
We're going to be talking about this in the main episode, kind of, but only not to like this niche of this industry.
Right. So it raises a lot of interesting questions because there's a lot of reportedly there's a lot of other people.
Raises a lot of things, Marcus.
Reportedly, there's other people who are getting upset about you're not actually showing yourself, and her numbers, she's taking off. Mm-hmm. She's getting really, really popular, and there's like ridiculous donations coming in. But
there's like backlash because like it's not like real or whatever, or is that? So. I'm sure there's a fucking 100,000 other sites you could go to, or 1 million other sites you could go to where there's real.
Well, here's another thing though. You can look at it as sort of there's other people who look at it from like a psychological standpoint of feeding into. People are already concerned about that's their kink, that they like the hentai or the anime stuff, which I'm not shaming anybody.
Totally.
Some people do.
Honestly, that's not even the weirdest thing.
All I'm saying is that some people do, and then some people kind of equate that to, oh, well, maybe it's, you're disassociating from real people, and you have like this twisted idea of like,
I guess,
of what a woman should be, and there's all kinds of things as
I guess
far
I could
as deep
see
as you want to go
having
into
that
it.
opinion, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah. There's that element to it. And then there's also another element. You come at it from almost a quasi-political standpoint of like the people who flock to this sort of character and who are supporting her are like the 4chan, like
basement dweller troll people or whatever that like internet tends to call
sort of, but
the internet community.
Yeah. They're, not exactly alt-right. There's a better term.
Well, like
they're just like the troll type of people, and
like incels and stuff or something.
Yeah, I didn't want to have to use that word, but yes, that's basically what the word that gets thrown around this topic anyway. So it's
why
really
would they have a
interesting.
problem with it?
No, it's not that they have a problem with it. It's that's a large part of her base. So people are kind of getting upset. Wouldn't that
be a large part of any like porn stars' bases of dudes who can't get laid?
True.
You know what I mean? Like not to like poke holes in anybody's like theory or anything, but like I mean, you're gonna find that fucking everywhere. Like,
yeah, but okay. I mean, those type of people, those trolly, incel-y type of people, usually are misogynistic a lot of the time, and they're mostly feeding her popularity because she's pissing off all the other cam girls who they hate on and shit on all the time.
Word. And
I should note that this user, she actually does like video essays and stuff. It's not the only thing that she does. So
are people upset or whatever because they think that because she's drawing a specific type of fan, let's say, that she is inadvertently feeding their like mentality and like supporting it or whatever?
Sort of. Contributing to the downfall of society, as it were.
Yeah, I don't really think how her doing that is any different than any solo.
Well, and supposedly, I mean, at full disclosure, I've not visited her streams or chats. I've just seen like her YouTube videos.
Let me ask you this question, I guess. Then, what makes the incels type people like that we're talking about more attracted to this person than other people? Is it because she's a cartoon or whatever, or an avatar rather? You know what I mean? I know I'm using old people terms, but. Is that like based on some kind of like fetish that they have about like control or dominance or degrading or something? Is that what
it's complicated. Each person's different. You can't bring them.
No, that's my point. Is that like it's weird? How are you bringing for critique or for support? How are you bringing like one umbrella over this very like stratified and
the more time it's going to sound kind of dumb, but the more time you spend on the internet, the more that sort of makes sense to you.
Yeah, it's true. More that type of shit matters.
Yeah,
it's true when you're in it.
Yeah,
not just of it.
Because there's just certain networks and certain places that certain type of people flock to, and this is just kind of
one of them.
Unfortunately, that's just association that gets placed on it.
Word. Though that's interesting.
It's hard. You can't really quantify that.
Yeah.
I mean, the only way you could actually make some sort of quantification is if you look through like the streams and see what's going on in the chats.
Right.
That's really the only way you could actually get some hard data evidence of that.
That whole phenomenon is super fascinating. It sounds like, but as far as having any like people being like outraged or being like having any controversies around it, I think that's kind of dumb. Just because, I mean, just from what I'm hearing, obviously I have no idea what. The details are, and for all I know, there's some massive detail that like someone could give to me and would have a totally change and revelation of opinion. But barring that, that's everywhere. That these like groups where people are like either just saying things or being overly crass, or even if they really do believe these things or whatever, as long as they're like localized to like a little group, it's, I don't know. I mean, is she like responsible to like clear her comments and on her thing of that, you know what I mean? It opens up this whole other thing,
right? Yeah.
Is she gonna have to like maintenance her channel for
right? Is people that her responsibility?
Talk shit, you know what I mean? Yeah. I guess it's maybe somewhere in like the user agreement or whatever of whatever you signed up for, and if you break any kind of rule, then then that's that. But I mean, I don't know. I think people really want like a lot of like regulated stuff, and I'm mostly for like the Wild West when it comes to the internet, as far as free range.
You got to be careful with that because especially when it comes to like things with sex and there could be, you never know, there could be some kind of trafficking thing going on.
Oh, totally.
There could be some kind of pedophilia thing going on.
I'm not saying that agencies shouldn't keep an eye on that type of shit. You know what I mean? And let's hope that some of our like intelligence agencies are actually using the powers for good for that type of exact thing or whatever. I know that after the 2016 elections, there was a big sweeping. I don't know if that's still going on. I'd like
busting
to
of pedophile
rings.
Yeah,
totally.
Yeah.
Which if that's all true, that's friggin' awesome. But yeah, I don't know. That's just an interesting.
Well, it's the reason I bring it up is because it raises a lot of interesting questions and interesting points. Like, I mean, from a technology standpoint, from a social standpoint, from a psychological standpoint,
commerce.
Yeah.
Everything. Yeah.
Like, well, the thing is, like, a lot of people, let's be real, a lot of people would do that sort of thing, but they're like, well, I don't want these videos to come back and haunt me or whatever, you know?
Or if
she's not actually putting herself out there.
Yeah, that's genius, I think, or whatever. Because the only person that I've ever even heard of something like that's really taken the whole like sex appeal thing and really milked it is that Delphine fucking whatever that chick's name is or whatever, the little pink haired British chick. And she does the exact same thing or whatever, where basically she knows she, you know, draws the sex appeal super hard and then charges top dollar for like little solo shows for like 15 minutes or whatever. And I'm like, damn, like you just made 15 grand in 30 minutes. Like,
true. That's
you know,
a hustle.
tip of the hat, dude. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people do a lot of worse shit for a lot less money. Face to face.